make a lot of grammatical errors when it comes to trying to speak Swedish specifically about magic. So I'm very grateful for the opportunity to at least be able to do this a little bit in my own way. Although it's, I'm sure, been very nice for you to be able to swap back to Swedish for a little bit.
Yeah, it's been, but it's been an experience to talk magic in English as well. So I might pronounce stuff wrong, but it's okay. You guys understand me, and if you're not, just shout out and I will say it in English. Jag kan faktiskt prata svenska också.
Are we good?
Yeah, we're good.
Huh?
No.
So, very soon we should hopefully be able to cut over to the table where they will be starting to set up their first game.
Oh, here we are.
Oh,
there
they
you
have
go.
already started. There's already a Teferium. Oh,
Okay,
no.
there you go. So,
It's
jumping
one of
into the
those days.
jumping into the game, we have Esper versus Esper. The
It appears to
mirror
be Esper Precinct versus Esper.
precinct.
Is it Precinct?
I'm guessing it is.
I mean, what are you basing that on? There's Teferi and there's Teferi.
Cry.
Cry of the Canarium, probably suggesting it's more likely Esper Control than Esper Precinct.
Alright.
Especially main.
Well,
Sneaky little screen.
Thief of Sanity. Mid-range it is.
If we could get the overlay and the life totals and potentially the deck lists as well, that would also be great. Teferi ticking up. Land drop.
I see Oath of Kaya.
Oath of Kaya taking down the Thief of Sanity.
Doing its thing during this weekend. Oath of Kaya is seeing has been a really good. A good card this weekend. Another Thief, of course. Thief of Sanity, a really good card for Esper.
Very, very good
Or
card.
for Dimir in general.
Both players having a good think about what they'd like to do. Does appear that Esper Precinct has missed a land drop though. Bounces the Thief for Sanity. Fair enough. We don't ask questions about what that was.
Another Thief. Wow, okay.
I mean, he just bounced.
There you go.
Wait,
Two
what?
life. It was a moment of craving.
That is okay. He did hit 3 Thief of Sanities there. That's pretty crazy.
And he handled 3. That was also crazy. Dobbins Vito in hand. That is the magic number 4. Into
Casmina.
Casmina.
So this might be the Esper Super Friends build we've
Yeah.
heard a little bit about. Casmina ticks down, makes a wizard. He has to decide what he wants to discard. There goes the Godless Shrine. Isolated Chapel into
Teferi.
Small Teferi.
Look at that.
Untaps 2 lands, passes turn. Most likely holding up a veto.
Another Vito in.
Is indeed holding up a veto.
Oh.
And there's a concession from Esper Precincts. Hopefully, we will know what's happening. Are we good? Are we good?
Yeah, we're live.
Okay.
Huh?
But I don't know what's saying what's live or anything.
Alright.
I'm not good with technology. So, game 1. Yes, okay.
Game 1 to Prisfyndet. Rasmus Engren, I presume. Mulder.
Rasmus Engren. Can quickly see how he did in the overall standings. Ended up 26th place with 21 points. That's not that bad. Mulder. Mulder, on the other hand, ended up 13th place with 24 points.
Petter Mölder for Main Stage. So they're actually...
Oh, they have their own deck lists. They have each other's deck lists. No wonder we don't have the deck lists. That explains a few things. So they are going to actually have full access to each other's card pool. If we're looking at Esper Super Friends versus Esper Precinct, of course we have to guess entirely what they've got in hand, but I imagine an extra Dovin's Veto probably each way would come in. I think both of them are going to try and grind out the control game. And if that's the case, I think Precinct 1 might have the advantage just because of the
mid-range, I think.
The ability to go slightly more aggressive with Hero.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting because I don't know.
Again, I wish that we had a little bit more to talk about. But unfortunately, again, we don't have the deck lists here in front of us for the BUM because they require them to look at each other's.
So, what we can talk about is that in the BUM, the if three players were to win while from Main Stage, for instance, while Mulder and Engren was playing, this game would not matter since Main Stage would get a solid 3 points, 3 wins. So because the top 3 counts.
So it's best 2 out of 3 between the two sides. A team only needs 2 players to win 2-1 or 2-0 in order for their team to advance to the final.
Yeah.
Police Defenders, I believe, based in Uppsala, which is not too far down the road from us.
No, it's about
Main Stage. Where is Main Stage based?
Gothenburg.
Gothenburg. Okay. So Gothenburg versus Uppsala. Feel free to shout out in chat which city you would like to win.
Well, there's a lot of thinking right now.
It feels like a weird grab bag of cities for the top 4, doesn't it? It's like Stockholm, Uppsala, Gothenburg, and then Västerås.
The big cities. Gothenburg, of course.
It's been really interesting to actually get out of my normal little comfort zone and go around and actually see a bit more of Magic outside of our little comfort zone, you know?
Indeed. And so what we were talking about during the drafting yesterday is that we have our meta in Västerås, and to see the other players from other cities drafting, you get a lot of inspiration for new types of builds.
Mm-hmm.
Waiting for the game number 2. There's a lot of thinking going on down there. Looks like they are almost ready to go.
Probably also important to note that because the final rounds aren't timed, players are allowed to take as much time as they feel like they need with sideboarding. Of course, the judges and the other staff don't want to be hanging around all day, but until you are allowed as much time as you need until you present your deck to your opponent to cut. In Twitch chat, do we have anyone who is rooting for Gothenburg or anyone who's rooting for Uppsala? Feel free to let us know and tell us a little bit about what you think about these players. I'm more than happy to read about it. A lot of sideboarding.
Yeah. It's a lot of thinking.
I mean, this is the Esper mirror. This is where the elites of control players are hanging out right now. Oh, you're playing Grixis, are you? Bet you can't play Kaya's Wrath. I have heard a lot about blue-green steel as a new deck.
Yeah.
Which I believe is the mass manipulation deck, really taking advantage of the meta that is filled with planeswalkers at the minute.
Alright.
Ramping into a large mass manipulation and then stealing all of your opponent's creatures seems like a fun play.
But what if your opponent doesn't play any creatures?
What if your opponent is actually playing Storm? In which case, I don't know.
The meta is very creature heavy right now, so or planeswalker heavy.
Although I've got to say, watching a couple of the Dreadhorde lists going on,
Yeah.
that looks like a really fun day.
Oh yeah. And also the Citadel list with the Explore package, really cool. What about the red deck? Do you think that's something to?
I had to think for a second there. Do I think
exactly.
Do I think mono red's any good? Dramatic pause.
Jazz pause.
Yes, I think mono red is good.
Yes. Which one is best? Mono blue tempo, white weenies, or red deck?
Red deck.
Red deck, right?
I think having access to light up the stage is incredible. I think the clock that you have is a lot faster, and I think that Curious Obsession just sort of makes whatever you're trying to stick it onto a target for shock. Mono white is still solid though. I just think that mono red's more consistent thanks to Experimental Frenzy.
Shout out to Pimp Swamp, rooting for Priest Findet. Pimp Swamp.
The greatest swamp
of them all. Such a pimp.
You ever wonder how we got this position? You appear to have
Yo. Go Aku, go Uppsala. There you go.
Aku, in case you didn't catch it on stream, was unfortunately knocked out of the top 8 in singles. I don't know if he's on this team for Priest Vendette. Because of course I don't have the actual team standings here. Don't want to hear it. Aku has won as long as no one mentions otherwise.
Yeah. Oh, well, we are almost ready for game 2 here after a lot of sideboarding and a lot of thinking from the players. Rasmus Engring took a while looking through, finding the answers.
These Esper mirrors, like, man.
I enjoy them.
So
I enjoy it because I'm a control player myself, so I really like this.
I was gonna say I loved some of the homebrews that came up. I loved seeing a bit of a return to Arclight Phoenix. We had the Bolas Citadel deck. Of course, none of these homebrews won because Mono Red and Esper.
Yeah, we just missed the Mono Green Tron deck.
Ah, it's a shame.
I like that deck.
So the opponent's presenting the cut again.
And we are on to game 2. Does it look like we get a keep from both players? I see Teferi.
Rasmus 1-0 up. We will see if Uppsala can at least clinch this game. Of course, we don't know if Rasmus winning will mean that Uppsala will win, because of course there's the other two games that we can't see.
This is the semi-finals.
This is the semi-finals for the Butiksmästers Cup.
Yes.
Land pass. Land pass. Land pass. Land.
There you go, Thought Erasure. Thief of Sanity.
How do you know those?
Do you think it's gonna...
Oh, it's Teferi. Of course it is.
It's a lot of Teferis.
That's at least 2 Teferis. Is that even 3 Teferis?
There's too much. There's too much Gloria.
Either way, we can see an Elder Spell and a Thief of Sanity.
In the other semi-final, we have Dragon Slayer versus Röda Goblin and Spelbutik. Mine stage at 101 points into this. Dragon Slayer at 95. Röda Goblin and Spelbutik at 88, and Priest Unit at 81. Which means that, of course, Mine stage now is facing Priest Unit and Dragon Slayer. Röda Goblin and Spelbutik. Thought Erasure picks off Thief of Sanity. Surveils. Do we want to keep what we see? We do not want to have another Teferi. Good job there. No land.
No land for either of them. No, he got a land.
Yes. So Teferi. No, sorry about that. I just presumed it was a Teferi.
See anything? A drop on
Teferi.
3. Oh, I guess that's a Teferi.
Finding a Liliana for the first time for me today.
Oh, I want to see
weekend.
someone play Liliana. I want it.
It's a one-off in most of the Esper control decks, and also the Grixis.
We've seen like 30 Teferis. I haven't seen one Liliana.
I want to see Liliana.
I want to see her make a zombie and sack some dudes.
I want to see her. I want to see her ultimate.
It's probably not gonna happen.
Yeah. Never.
What's I seeing for the black control decks? Vraska's Contempt fallen out of fashion a little bit.
It's too slow, and also it is monocolored. It's black, and 2.
Yeah, but you would have thought in the non-precinct 1 decks, you'd consider it, as it literally deals with anything.
Oh, 4 mana. Yeah.
That was mean. That was very mean. We're professionals here. Apologise for a slight voice delay there. Our technician did something wrong.
Teferi is out there with 5 counters on it. Draw for turn. Taking up Teferi, drawing a card. Solid.
Halifax comes down. In comes the Liliana. This is where I want to be.
Yes. So all the games in the BUM are playing simultaneously.
Hopefully, I mean, of course, now you can see that the zombie. What do you bounce here with? He's bouncing the zombie token. That's probably not really where he wants to be.
Well, he might want to bait England to bounce his Teferi. I don't know.
I mean, bouncing the Teferi feels like it would have been a better decision if he's able to keep. Then again, he's got the D-Spark.
He's D-Sparking the Teferi.
Worth noting, only one blue source currently for Pet there. Meaning he
And also he doesn't want to have Rasmus to draw cards if he's going to sacrifice his token with Liliana. Liliana is at 8 right now.
Is she 8?
No, 7, sorry
I was
about
about to
that.
say.
He's about to become an 8.
Down comes Narset. That is going to be a bit of a pain for Pet there. Yes, okay, that's a fair point. The little Teferi cannot actually bounce the Planeswalkers. My mistake.
Elder Spell. Ultimate. Oh, I just asked for it and there I got it. He did the Elder Spell, moved every counter to Liliana and did ult the Liliana.
I got confused there for a second. I thought you ticked down Liliana
It's like
when there
I
was
know
no creatures
stuff.
in play.
Like I knew that was gonna happen. This is looking really good right now for Priest Findet.
I am seeing that this could be where Priest Findet pulls it forward, but of course, I don't want to speak too soon.
This is looking really, really bad for my state right now.
At least he's drawing more lands.
He is.
Land tap.
On the other hand,
we might be able to see Liliana Ultimate twice at this rate. The Elder Spell really showing off how powerful that card is in this format where everyone is really insistent on playing Planeswalkers. Narset resolves Elder Spell.
oh jeez.
Elder Spell, come on. Ah, miss.
Whiff whiff.
I'm going to sacrifice my 2 Planeswalkers and my Liliana in order to double Stone Rain you. Value Town.
Well, this is looking like Priest Findet is going to claim this win. I'm not afraid to say it at this point because this looks really, really...
An ultimate Liliana dumping a control player's land pile. That's not to be messed with.
Thought erasure.
Well, he's got another land. What does he draw off the top that fixes this? That is a
Elder Spell. Into
Fairy bounces
into
zombie
Narset, into
Elder Spell into Narset.
Into Kaya's Wrath, into Teferi, into...
So chances are Rasmus just Elder Spells. Is he gonna do it again? And
Yeah,
he scoops it up. Well played to Rasmus. Taking his team up a point on Priest Findet's side for the Boutique Smith's Cup.
So I was asking for a Liliana. And I was asking for an ultimate.
We got 2 ultimates in one game. The magic gods smile upon us tonight.
Yep.
So, we are going to let them... I don't believe we have any other coverage that we can bring up because the other players will still be going. We are going to wait. I believe when we return, we will have the semi-finals of the SM. And we will see you when we return.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hej och välkomna till Lincon. Det är 35:e året vi har Lincon och det är 25:e året vi är på Campus Valla. Vilket är väldigt kul. Just nu befinner vi oss i en av alla brädspelsbarer som finns här på Lincon. Och så här ser det ut i stort sett i varenda sal. Vi har ungefär 45 salar med liknande aktiviteter. Men det sträcker sig då ifrån allt från brädspel till rollspel till kortspel. Och det pågår dygnet runt, så det blir en hel del folk som har en hel del grejer att göra. På Lincon så har vi ett väldigt stort åldersspann. Det vi har märkt i år, det är att vi fortsätter den här föryngringen som vi började märka av förra året redan. Så det är ännu fler ungdomar som är här, och det är ju någonting vi tycker är fantastiskt roligt på grund av att vi har ju känt att medelåldern på det här konventet har stigit i rasande fart de senaste åren, och då är det ju problemet, hur länge ska vi orka arrangera när vi inte får in nytt blod? Men det märker vi att det börjar vi få nu, så Lincon kommer nog leva kvar i 35 år till.
On the same team, we are going to have, who have we got here? Ljungberg and Piakar.
They both have one of each games in the multi-6.
I'm seeing Piakar Felix in the
This is
singletons and
and
39th place at 18th points.
Yeah, and Pekar is mulling to 5. Does not like what he sees.
And Ljungberg, in fact, Ljungberg here, William Ljungberg, is the 9th place player from the singles. He's the one who just missed out on top 8 by tiebreakers from Mind Stage.
See if he can make it this time.
We are at 1-1. We are
5
taking
cards.
mulligans.
Oh, we are actually. Oh, we are looking at.
We're looking at mono white.
Mono white.
Mono white takes a scry. Gideon's been brought in.
And we see
So
it.
I'm seeing a red. Is it?
Oh, this is going to be a fun matchup. So it's going to be
Mono white, mono red. Let's do this. Land into fanatical firebrand.
I
potentially.
presume it's going to be that.
Fanatical firebrand. Probably not going to attack into the 0-3 for no reason. Land go.
So next play from Pekka is going to be land Gideon.
Gideon is. I think Gideon's actually going to make a very big difference here.
Yes.
So that's to attack. Probably going to see if he
So
can
he's
either
going
shock to
he's
kill.
he's going to shock him. That's the only reason
shock
why he
to
did
kill
that.
or potentially he had light up the stage in hand.
Land for turn. That's
This is probably this might be the Gideon drop, or he might just play another Snubhorn.
I don't know. I think you want to play Gideon.
There's the Gideon.
Gideon
Gideon Blackblade
becomes a
card
4/4.
pops up
Is
every
it-
now and then.
Becomes a 4/4.
Mm.
Can get someone else vigilance, indestructible, or lifelink. It's a very good card in mono white.
At least right now, it's looking to gain Piakar
4 lives.
5 life even.
5 lives. Sorry. No. It's a 4/4 when he attacks.
No, but he's on 5 loyalty right now. Sorry about that, just had to do some backroom talks.
Everything on Gideon. Down to
Gideon
2.
on 2. Gideon surviving the turn is a good sign. So I'm seeing land, Snubhorn, and what else? I like how we're still tilting to see if we can see it properly.
Oh, yeah. I'm guessing Snubhorn's coming in.
There's the Snubhorn.
6 permanents on the field, so Snubhorn's not doing any damage.
What's the last card he has
I
there?
don't know. I thought it was a Loxodon first, but I'm not sure. Another chalk. I would say that Ljungberg has the slight advantage at this point. Seeing what he has in his hand. There's a Rekindling Phoenix that I think he wants to drop as soon as possible. So a land for him next turn would be good. Swing at Gideon, I presume. I mean, he's going to get Gideon for 2 at least. Either way he does it if he tries to attack. Okay, only 2 coming in.
Most likely,
I guess he
that he has a shock in hand.
Yeah, and also he might want to go face with the last one to activate the spectacle.
Of course, we don't know where he's going with those creatures. I imagine they're both. My estimate would be both the Gideon have shock up to kill the Gideon no matter what happens.
He might actually kill everything right now. So
there is the shock.
Is it?
Potentially, yeah.
It's going to shock Snubhorn or Gideon. No, he's going to shock Gideon.
Shocks the Gideon.
And after that, pass turn.
PK draws. Finds land, passes. What is that last card he has in hand?
I don't know. We shall wait and see. Not a land this turn, no Rekindling Phoenix, but at least it's a lightning strike.
So
taking care of the Snubhorn, going in for 3.
William's last 2 cards.
Or is it 4? Yes, it's 4.
William's last 2 cards, I believe, are Chandra and Rekindling. Benalia off the top, a very strong draw.
We all know Benalia, Danny, but what does it does? What does it do?
Do you know what it does?
Yeah, I know what it does.
So, History of Benalia is a 1 and 2 white saga. Now, sagas are enchantments from Dominaria that will slowly increase with lore counters and then sacrifice once they're done. History of Benalia is a enchantment that will create 2/2 knights and then eventually pump those 2/2 knights into 4/3 knights.
We have a Rekindling Phoenix about to enter the battlefield.
Or potentially Chandra.
You think that Chandra is the first pick? Maybe.
I'm not sure actually.
Going in for 2.
Seeing if he will take that bait.
He is not. Sorry about that. 4 mana going into... Oh, he did the Chandra.
Of course he did. That was obviously the right play. Takes out Wizard's Lightning that can't be played. Well, that is a shame. Draw step. Make a knight.
And now we shall see.
Wish I knew what it was that Pekka had in hand.
It might be a Conclave Tribunal. No, because then we would go for Chandra right away.
Also worth noting that
Ah, it was a Conclave. Well, there you
did have
go.
a Tribunal. I knew it looked a bit darker than the other ones. A lot of these F&M promos turning up.
The shiny one. So, Chandra.
Remember, kids,
tucked
go
away.
to your LGS and you get cool stuff.
Well, this is actually good for Ljungberg because his Phoenix is not going to
Get Conclave now.
Yeah.
But I think the mono white deck can deal with the Phoenix in general better than the Chandra.
You think?
I mean, at least the Phoenix you can kind of interact with in combat. I mean, the main problem the Phoenix provides is the egg that it leaves behind.
No, but knowledge Marshall.
Knowledge Marshall. Now those knights are currently 5/4s.
He's gonna chomp with the fanatical firebrand, and he is
He
mighty.
probably will take a trade with the rekindling Phoenix.
Oh yeah, of course.
Appears to be some discussion over history of Benalia.
Don't know why though.
Why do you play that card?
This is too
doesn't
good.
even do nothing.
He's gonna.
Offer the trade. I just love the idea of living in a world where one of the players.
Oh, baffling ends the egg.
That is where you want to be going. Well played, Felix. Dillian draws.
Lava coil, I presume.
That did appear to be lava coil. That's
I
the
think-
Benalish
I
Marshall dealt
think-
with,
yep.
but I don't think that's
That has to be the Benalish. Boom, and
Benalish dealt with.
not okay. Well, there you go.
Double line lava coil, getting in for 4. Pierka now top decking, I think.
Was that a Benalish? Was that a saga that I saw?
Which one?
No, it was a land. Okay.
Like, what you want to know? What saga looks like that? Oh well. I mean, if both of them continue mirroring their draws by drawing lands, then sure.
At Benalish Marshall. That was another Phoenix, I presume. Swingity swing.
In with the
Blockety
team.
block.
Blockety block. Scoopity boop. Phoenix comes down. Drawing a card. Having a little spin.
Good game.
And concedes.
So mine stage at 1 point and Priest Finite is at 1 point after this.
And of course, we don't know how that last game is going, but we will find out for you. And
So
we
1-1. I really hope that we could get the last game because it's 1-1 against between the guys.
if it's possible to get the last game, we will try and get the last game. If the last game's already over, then we will give you the results. It does appear that we are moving over the last game.
Good job, crew.
Thank you very much, coverage.
So,
we're gonna
1-1.
see this all the way through.
1-1.
Wow, 1-1 between Gothenburg and Uppsala.
Yes.
It's
So
been
this
a long weekend. My brain is.
So
So congratulations to William for pulling that bag for his team, and we will see if this last matchup will be the decider. We'll hopefully have that on screen pretty soon.
I believe it was Mind Stage who won this game, right?
Mind Stage won this game. The first game that we saw.
So
Priest
ignore
Finland
this.
Won. Ignore what?
It says that Priest Finite won this game.
Yeah, it was Mind Stage that should have won that.
Yep.
It was Priest Finland that extended the hand.
Yep. Release me.
I have Benalish Marshall in play. You present your hand like, so this is where you concede, right?
After he played the
I
Phoenix.
have Rekindling Phoenix and 3 dudes. This is where you concede. Take my hand. That's exactly how I remember it not happening. So, from the 2 matchups we've seen on Mind Sage's side, Esper and Mono Red.
Yep.
Priest Finland's side, we had Esper and Mono White.
Yep.
Which means that, at least on Priest Finland's side, Mono Red is still very much on the table.
And probably is. Probably it is. But what do you think that
Well, this is the thing. Mind Stage is used there to in every deck plays of Esper and Mono Red.
Might be a Golgari, might be in a Sultai.
I'd like to see some Sultai mid range.
Yep.
I'd be down for that. Sultai's my deck.
Nice transition.
And that's
is it?
Is it green black? It's green black.
Oh, it's green black. It's Golgari.
It might
Versus
there might be more against that. And
land
there's the Mono Red
into
play.
Get Lava under. And
Now-
there's the scoop. No, I'm joking.
Wild
Growth
seeing
Walker.
Paradise Druid. Now, Paradise Druid is suggesting that it could be either Command the Dread Horde, or it could be
Double mana spin.
It could be the land destruction version, or it could just be a mid-range build with Paradise Druid for the extra fixing.
Was that a Wild Growth Walker?
Either way, he's got his Explore package in there. The Explore package, I think, really makes this deck tick, especially against the aggressive matchups like Mono Red. How did the modern championships end? Who won? I cannot remember the champion's name off the top of my head,
but it
I
was
know
the
he
burn
was
deck.
He was on Mono Red. Not Mono Red in modern, but you know,
Burn.
he was on Naya Burn.
Lanover is doing what it's supposed to do, getting in for one. Land into Wild Growth Walker. Now let's see if it's not Pekka that we're seeing, but let's see if the red deck can handle the possible life gainer, which might not be the case. Okay, this is a huge play for
Priest that's stuck on one land is not where it wants to be.
and not being able to handle the Wild Growth Walker. Let's see if
Going in for two. To be fair, even
Okay.
for Golgari, this seems like quite a slow start. But Golgari's that's double. That's
I'm
Moment
looking
of
at-
Craving,
I'm
Cast Down,
oh wow, and Assassin's Trophy.
and Assassin's Trophy. Yeah, this does not look great. I was literally about to say all it takes is some kind of finisher, and that was a Carnage Tyrant on the top.
Yeah, the graphics are not right, so
We'll fixing it.
okay. Well, this is Moment of Craving gets the Golgari player up to 22, I presume.
Plays the land. Plays the Carnage Tyrant.
Oh
I
wow.
I think this should be it.
You're not supposed to.
You're
Yeah,
not
well,
supposed
that
to.
is. Oh.
Well, there's the second land. How many lightning strikes do you think it takes to kill the Carnage Tyrant?
Well, you can't hit it, so.
How many lightning strikes anyway?
I think
I don't believe in Hexproof as a mechanic.
so.
It doesn't exist.
Mind Stage is on the left side. So if Mind Stage win this, they are waltzing through to the next round.
They are going to the finals of the BUM.
And if you hear the noises in the background, that sounds like a vacuum cleaner. I'm sorry, we do not know why and how that sound is here.
Land drop into lightning strike.
Well, yeah, that's. He has to take care of that.
I mean, the last thing he'd want is to have his opponent gain that much life. But on Golgari, you don't have to do anything right now. You just go.
He has him on the least 3-turn
Of
clock.
course, we can't see the life totals right now, but that is a steep clock, and I don't think that is.
He has every answer in the hand as well. I don't think you need to do anything but to say go.
That is. Yeah, Jonas, please provide coverage. That is a very steep clock. Sorry, I've got a judge like dancing in front of me. It's weirdly amusing. And that is the concession.
Yeah, that
that is
was
the concession from Priest Findead. Well played, boys. Well done for coming this far. Congratulations.
and
And so,
here we are.
so
That was
appears
it for
to be
the
main stage, making it through to the finals of the
we are
BUM.
we are waiting for the results for the Röda Gobliner versus Dragon Slayer.
We will get back to you when we have those, but as for right now, when we return, we will have the semi-finals of the SM. And we will see you soon. And we will... Are we off?
And we have the red deck versus. Oh,
We apologize for some audio difficulties.
oh, here comes the Liliana. Sacking gets to draw a card for that.
Yes. We appear, as we've been saying this entire time we've been here, this appears to be another Esper on Mono Red matchup, and I have done nothing but praise this matchup the entire time.
See here. Alright, so Basilica Bellhound out there. Red deck looks like they are struggling at the moment.
Chainwell and knocking Liliana down to 1. However, Victor is he is top decking, and this is not the
Gets another zombie out there. Value Town.
Experimental Frenzy come down. This could be the turnaround for Mono Red. Pays 1.
And the reason,
Shocks
again,
a zombie.
why we're speaking English is because we have an English guy here with us, Danny Porter.
Yes, that's me. Do we still? There we go. We are having some. There are some internet connectivity issues at the minute. We're trying to provide as much coverage as possible without too much screen flickering. But just so you know, we are on it.
And as I said, okay, there you go. Game 1 for Hesselman.
So we have a Hesselman with Esper versus Sjöqvist with Mono Red. Now, I would have gone into this tournament saying that Esper would always be well, Mono Red would always be favoured against Esper. This tournament's definitely changed that quite a lot.
It's a different approach of Esper because they have bodies out there.
Especially the Esper being able to just drop Basilica Bellhaunts, the sheer amount of removal they have access to, it almost feels like the control can beat the aggro quite easily, and that doesn't sit right with me as a Magic player.
Let's go into sideboarding, and of course, since it's the top 8, they have all the time in the world to figure out what they're going to do. What do you think Sjöqvist is thinking?
Well,
Rekindling.
As we can clearly see, he's going to take out the Fanatical Vibrans. That tends to be a first choice in most matchups for taking out. Very
one
good.
with his lightning.
Relatively decent game 1 on the play. However, there are a lot of matchups where just a 1/1 that pings isn't good enough, and it tends to be the first card to cut in terms of tuning up your deck for a certain matchup. I can see again
Tibalt,
Direfleet Daredevil, the extra mountain to play Skargan Hellkite. This is a very, very untraditional version of the Mono Red deck.
Let's see.
How's it going with
Another.
Vidar on the other hand?
Yeah, well, since it's an Esper, I think he's going to put the Cry of Canarium in. I think he's going to, if I don't have I don't have the sideboard here, but if he has a Kaya's Wrath in the sideboard, I think he will put it in the deck. Now we just have to wait for the sideboarding to be over to go into game 2 with the Hesselman at the top with 1.
Post-board, I would favour Esper still. But pre-board, I definitely would normally have Mono Red as the favourite to win this. And for it to swap over, and for Esper to say game 1, that's really where you want to be.
Indeed, indeed.
Esper being able to have access to Lyra, moment of craving.
Oh yeah, Lyra,
really,
of course. Yeah, Lyra is
really
going to go into the sideboard.
Powerful options for sideboard against mono red. You really don't want to lose game 1 against Esper if you're on the mono
Lyra
red player.
Dawnbringer, a 5/5 flyer with lifelink.
Yes. We've seen a lot of Lyra this weekend, mostly from the Esper players against the mono red decks.
Oh. And a lot of Teferi's, of course. You think he's
You ever
keeping the Liliana?
You ever get the feeling you're having like the weirdest sense of deja vu?
Well, with the Teferi.
No, with mono red versus Esper.
Yeah. You can almost think that they were the top tier 1 decks.
Some of the highlights have absolutely been watching. I love me some cool homebrews. We had.
Oops.
You got to cover the Bolas's Citadel deck. I was very happy to cover the Arclight Phoenix deck.
Oh yeah, how was that game?
He lost, but
okay.
mono red.
Well,
but it was still really fun to watch, and it almost makes me regret selling my Arclights.
Arclight also seeing Modern Plane of course. Do I see a Teferi?
You always see it a vary. His deck is saying 1/6 to fairy based.
Yeah, in the beginning, after the War of the Sparks came out, the argument was that to play 2 small Teferis, maybe 3 on the top, the big ones. Now we are seeing 4 of the both. 4. So
Teferi really showing his dominance this weekend.
yes,
Land, Lava Monster, Lava Runner.
land go, says the Esper controller. Aha.
Land, I will attack you.
Viashino Pyromancer might be.
No,
No,
Steamkin's
okay,
definitely
it had
the play
Steamkin
here.
in hand, so.
Steamkin lets you set up for significantly better plays.
Yeah.
And if the Esper control player had nothing better than Thought Erasure, then there was just so much. This is where mono red wants to be right now.
So, Hesselman has a cry of the Carnarium in the hand.
He also has 2 come into play tapped lands, which does not bode well right now.
Light up the stage. Okay, do we see a shock? Oh, 2 lands.
Hey, that's those out of the way.
Well, okay. So both of these guys have a really good hands, depending on the lands.
Pyromancer comes in, shoots Hesselman for 2.
Oath of
untaps.
Kaya.
See, now not even Cry of the Canarium does it.
There you go.
Oath of Kaya does, though. I mean, it gets rid of the Steamkin, gains him some life. Still short on blue, though. Still short on blue with a lot of
Teferis out
blue
there.
cards in hand.
Land?
I'm seeing
Experimental Frenzy?
I don't think this is the experimental slam right here. I think you want to try and clear your hand out first before playing the frenzy. Oh, is he just gonna double lightning strike the face? He's thinking about it. Lightning strike face.
Spectacle is on, if he so pleases.
Lightning strike face. He's gone for the double lightning strike face. Going for another 3.
Yeah.
9
Emptying his hand to play the frenzy next turn. Good play.
9 damage done in the space of about 5 seconds. There's the Canarium. Probably better late than never. But now there's just... Here comes the Lava Monster in. Now he gets to light up the stage again.
Wow. Good play by Quirkus.
Chain Whirler lands. There's
Into
the land.
land.
There's the Chain Whirler. And
Wow.
now he just gets a free drop of Experimental Frenzy next turn.
Thought Erasure in hand. Oh, okay.
And that's a scoop. No blue mana can be found for Hesselman. Quirkfist equalizes 1-1. So, Mono Red versus Esper. Love story, a tale as old as time. What are we thinking here?
Well, this game it was mono red versus blue, black and white. A good matchup for the mono red. Too bad he didn't get the last land. He needed the blue land. But he had a couple of answers, but Quirkus just took it away with a double lightning strike into More shenanigans, value town all over the place. Next turn,
About
experimental
as,
friends. Yeah, it was just good play.
about as aggressive as you want to be.
Yes.
With that
Indeed, indeed. Apparently we have 89 viewers at the moment. Thank you so much for tuning in.
We have now we're approaching the end of the day. We have a couple of spectators sitting in the stands.
Sitting in the green room, drinking champagne.
Very insistent that they get to watch us. Trying to be professional. Both players shuffling up. I don't think any of them want to sideboard anymore. Let's just get this last game out of the way, and we will see which one of us will make it to the final.
And once again, I don't see any blue in Hesselman's hand.
There's a blue there. That was a drowned catacomb. I don't trust him. Tyrant Scorn takes out the first lava runner. Going in.
See a thought erasure? No? Okay, my bad. That was a drowned catacomb.
Hesselman dropping a land. That is an Oath of Kaya. That you can drop. That you can drop right now. Or not. Decided to keep it up. Wasn't me this time. Victor goes in with the lava runner. Shame on you. Shane Weller comes up. Deals one to everything.
Here we go. I think we have the play here. Nope. Never mind then. Thinking.
3 mana.
Oath of Kaya.
Oath of Kaya takes down the Goblin Shane Whirler. Passing over to Vidar. Vidar draws the card. Wait, no, wait. Do we have the... No. Victor draws the card. I'm just going to go with the surnames, otherwise I'm going to mess it up every time. Querkvist draws.
There you have
Down with
Tybalt.
Tybalt.
No life for you, my friend.
Drops a cheeky little devil.
Me wants a devil.
Or... In... I imagine going in with the Gitu Lava Runner. Hesselman down to 19, I believe.
Is it? Does he have 2 instant sorceries in the graveyard?
No, only down to 20. Unless he shocks him with the spell with the attack on the stack. That would
But
be
you know what's
impressive.
gonna come up next for Hesselman?
What
Land into Lyra Dawnbringer, I presume.
is Lyra in hand? But then again, with Tybalt in play, he can't gain life off the Lyra.
But he can hit.
Yeah, but
Tybalt.
if he hits Tybalt, then he's still just has to wait a turn before he can gain the life. And with Experimental Frenzy in play, that might just give Querkvist the chance to actually find what he needs to do.
No, I think he's gonna Dovas veto it. He has to.
There's the veto.
Yep.
Passes turn. Hesselman draws a card.
It's a land
That's a land.
into
This
Lyra
the big
Dawnbringer.
Lyra.
There you
There's
go.
the Lyra Dawnbringer. One of the most
Hated cards from one of
Hated.
Red Deck's players.
Oh, well, one of the I was going to say one of the most noteworthy cards of the weekend, but yeah, sure, you go with that. Untaps Lyra, draws. I think he has to attack Teferi here. Or Oh, well, has to attack Tibalt, I was going to say. But there's the Teferi drop.
Is he tucking the... No, he just drew the card and boop, boop. Yeah, there you go.
End step Tyrant Scorn. Decided to do end step for some reason.
But another
Yeah,
experimental... There you go.
Making sure that he can very
Frenzy off.
efficiently
Frenzy off.
just play every single spell in his deck. Can you imagine Experimental Frenzy in like a deck with like lotuses
No.
and
No.
and petals? Just a load of 0 mana stuff.
Vomit in my mouth. Okay.
Lyra blocks. Doesn't gain life because of the Tibalt.
I was like, oh yeah. I didn't. Takes down.
Doesn't tick down. That was the Pyromancer shooting the Teferi.
Yeah, so it takes down.
Ticks down sort of implies that he's using the negative ability.
Thought Erasure. Nope.
Is that Isolated Chapel you just tapped for that? Or is that Glacial? I can't see under the swamp.
Thought Erasure.
I'm pretty sure it's okay, otherwise someone might point it out. Lyra takes down the Tibalt. Now, Pestilman can start gaining some life back. Quirquist checks his top card. That appeared to be a shock. Goes in with the squad. All at Teferi? Those are Teferi. Oh, the Devil's a Teferi. Pyromancer are you.
Teferi has seen the...
Teferi has seen the light. My time has come.
I will be back
My planet needs
with my
me.
brother.
Lyra goes in.
Gains 5.
Now he's starting to gain life, and this is where Mono Red should start looking worried. One single swing with Lyra Dawnbringer, and most of the time can just end the
Cry.
game.
Will they?
Cry clears the board.
This looks tough for the mono red player right now. For Quirquist.
But
So-
he's gone through
2 shocks.
Experimental Frenzies.
2 shocks.
But of course it's 1-1, so you kind of want to play it out.
Gains 5.
Got a Shrine in tap.
Passes turn.
That's Skagen Hellkite.
Is it?
That's the Skagen Hellkite. Oh,
What?
that's a beastie boy.
Okay. Did you see he had a Kaya's Wrath in hand?
I don't think he'll spend a Kaya's Wrath to do that. He takes damage. Quirquist goes to 1, untaps, draws a card.
I think he's going to try
So
to get
he
rid of
can-
Lyra
he-
right now.
Yeah, he can go land, dragon, to kill Lyra.
Oh,
Or he
there's a
decides
game.
not to do it. He's had enough. No, it's 4 mana to activate the dragon. That's why he could not pull it off.
So that was it. Esper Control beats...
And Victor Quirquist.
Yep.
Wait, Vidar won that one. Vidar, the Esper player, right?
Yeah, isn't that Victor?
Hesselman won. Why are we like this? Congratulations to our Esper Control player for now making it through to the
Hesselman won.
final. We're
Hesselman
probably
won.
about to get your name very, very soon, and I apologize profusely.
Yeah, Vidar
can we
Hesselman won.
Get a message down to the guy in the bottom that we could get the first names rather than the surnames. Because when they both start with V.
So Hesselman won by getting the Lyra out there to to finish up and closing out the ball to gain some life, and Skagen Hellkite just came out to.
We are looking at a very interesting final coming up as we start closing in to the
First semi-finals over.
yes, the semi-finals are over. Do we know if we have any follow-up to this, or are we going to pause until we get to the next event, which will be the final of the BUM? In the meantime, how do we feel about that game?
Well, of what we saw, it was a solid game for Esper. Oath of Kaya once again showing its strength by taking away the momentum from the red deck.
I think it's very hard to understate just how much of an impact Lyra has had on this meta game.
Yeah.
Pretty much entirely off of the back that most of the field was mono red and Esper.
Yeah. So
And
a 5/5 flyer with lifelink.
and because of the dominance of mono red and Esper, the Esper shells that have thrived are the ones that are better at dealing with mono red.
Yeah.
Whereas the Esper shells that haven't thrived are the ones that can't deal with mono red as well, slowly get picked off.
Yeah.
And now we enter into territory where we are just pretty much only seeing Esper and mono red.
Nope.
I mean, we commented on that early from the beginning, but those two decks really are not to be messed with.
No. So during this weekend, I think we 70%, or maybe even 80% are red and Esper, in some sort of variations. I mean, of course, some decks run with the Hero Precinct 1, some not, some doing the Thief of Sanity build, but all in all, Esper is very solid. Also with the same is also with red deck. Doing some sort of difference with the Rekindling Phoenix, and now here with the Skargan Hellkite was a bit of a flavor. Bit too late, but that is a monster out there
Oh,
when
yeah.
it hits the field.
I love Skargan Hellkite when I first saw it. I would have loved for it to see play more decks. I think the main problem in that sense is that there isn't really a red mid-range deck at the minute in the format. Nothing like Jund or Naya really seeing play.
Yeah. Even Gruul struggles a bit.
Like, I mean, you have a Teamer deck that's mostly built around Wilderness Reclamation.
Yeah.
You have trying to think of the other color combinations now.
Gruul.
You have a fringe appearance from like red green aggro, but even then, I don't think you play the dragon. I think it's better just paying one more mana and having a Carnage Tyrant.
Yeah, the Carnage Tyrant. I remember when we were playing like a couple of months ago, how big of an impact it had on the board state. When you were playing Esper and you were playing Control, and you just had that, and you did not have like Kaya's Wrath out there to make the big sweeps. You had the Cleansing Nova. It's not the same though.
I mean, we had the old Jeskai control list from the previous format really had an issue dealing with things like Carnage Tyrant, but as that deck's died out, more and more efficient ways of dealing with decks that run Carnage Tyrant. Like, remembering at the beginning of the format how dominant Carnage Tyrant based decks were.
And it looked also, if you look at the prices of the Carnage Tyrant on the MCM market, for instance, it was topping at 200, 220. Now it's not even 100 crowns.
Of course the price is notwithstanding, but with the flow of the format, I mean, Guilds of Ravnica came out, and what you were seeing was Golgari mid-range, some mono red shells, some Boros aggro, and then the Jeskai control lists. Moving into Ravnica Allegiance, and then suddenly a lot of Orzhov support comes in.
Yeah.
A lot of Azorius support comes in.
There was a lot of people waiting for the Orzhov.
You now have the remaining two shot clans for fixing.
Yep.
You have Kaya's Wrath, you have Absorb, you have
Love Absorb.
You have Mortify. Small things like this have just really accelerated the presence of Esper. The printing of Hero of Precinct 1, for example, building an entire archetype all around itself, just from having this 2-mana 2/2 in your deck with small incremental advantages here and there.
And since everything you run in the Esper deck is naturally with more than one color. Kaya's Wrath, you have the Mortify and all that.
So, as those of you who are in chat have just read, we are currently in the process of starting to set up for the final of our BUM. Now, the final of the BUM, I believe, is going to be played between
Mind Stage and Dragon's Lair.
Dragon's Lair. Red Goblin just losing out to Dragon's Lair in the semi-finals. Still very proud of you boys. You did great.
Actually, Dragon's Lair won by beating all the players in
All
Red
three.
Goblin, so they are really, really having a go there.
I have heard something about Joel's deck in particular in this matchup, about
Okay.
the blue-green theft,
Oh,
which is a very fringe deck in standard, but apparently showing up in relatively decent.
so he's
amounts.
playing that.
I believe so. If we can
Love
get
to
that
see
on
that.
coverage, we will most definitely attempt to get it on coverage.
So the
We-
theft deck is the 4x
the mass manipulation.
mass
deck.
manipulation, which we see, which we saw in some of the sideboards or even the main boards of the gate deck, since they were like ramping really, really hard.
I would have loved to see. I did hear that there was one person on gates this weekend.
Oh,
That made me smile.
hard deck when it goes off, since you have the Gatebreaker Ram and also the golem. What was it called? No, the artifact creature, the gate.
Oh, the Colossus.
Oh, thanks, Gate Colossus.
So, in terms of the BUM, we are looking like it's going to be Uppsala versus Stockholm.
Dragon's Lair, one of the biggest store in Sweden, or not?
Oh, not
even the
Uppsala
biggest.
versus Stockholm. Gothenburg versus Stockholm. My
Yeah.
apologies. Going into this,
Yeah.
of course, Dragon's Lair has the name recognition. It has the pro player recognition.
Yes.
Dragon's Lair was also the favourite at the start of the event before anything started. Mind Stage, on the other hand, has come into this 6 points higher.
Yeah, they're playing a really, really solid deck, and we saw in the semifinals, they have a really good mindset, taking it cool, playing some really, really solid and stable Magic.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing about this weekend, there was so many games and so many matches, that consistency is the key here, and for the whole team in BUM. So you can't have one player just go off and do a good game and the rest of them sit back and relax. So all of them has to be on point and produce a good game all the time, which I like. This is so much more than Magic. I mean, just in itself, it's more about the focus around and being able to maintain the consistency of playing good Magic. And then you have the draft, which is also like a different format, and also a different way of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Me myself, I'm not so good at draft, but I enjoy it. But what we saw today yesterday was a whole different level from what I was used to. Watching Joe Larson do the drafting once again was it made me look like I didn't know anything. So he basically, he's gonna pick that up. He picked the other thing.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it felt going through the entire way.
Yeah.
But
Very interesting game though.
yes, and we will hopefully see some more of those interesting plays. I mean, if we can get UG Theft on camera, I would love to watch that.
I would really like to see that. And
At
not
le-
only because
a break from Esper versus Monorec for 5 minutes. But yes, I don't know how long the Swedish store championships have been going on, but I believe that, again, Dragon's Lairs are the favourite for a reason, but this could be where Mind Stage in Gothenburg is able to take that crown.
yeah, would be cool.
So, as for the finals of standards that will be coming up right now, we just saw one of the
Go Hernandez, shout out to you, my bro.
Coco Hernandez.
Tweezy, shouts to you.
I believe Sebastian did make it through to the semis, and it was unfortunately I don't have the pairings all matched up yet, and I'm not.
There's a lot of things going on down there. That's why we're sitting here and talking.
There's a lot going on down there right now, and we're just trying to keep
the stream going.
Keep it entertaining.
Yeah. On another note,
Yeah.
you know what's next week?
What's next week?
It's the pre-release of the Modern Horizon.
Oh, there's been so much magic going on lately.
So in the beginning of the month, you have in the next one you have the War of the Sparks, and then
this month
You had the Modern Horizon.
And then give it a bit, and then suddenly Core 2020 is coming out.
There's so much magic going on this summer. I'm
This
going
is-
to be so poor at the end of the summer. I'm not even gonna be able to go to vacation. The vacation is going to be to go to Väs, where we are at, and play some magic at Röda Goblinen.
Your idea of spending a large amount. I'm a commander player, man. Like I just want to buy that foil Japanese War of the Spark Chandra, and that's pretty much it at this point. And it's like, well, what's that going on?
How
for?
much is that foil Chandra?
Pretty like
No, let me
Five-
just
500,
500
600?
million thousand euros.
Wow, that was a hell of a lot of escalation.
But on the
Is
serious
that
note,
adjusted for inflation?
on a serious note, the foiled Liliana alternate odd Japanese it's at 10k.
That was. I mean, I doubt it's that much.
When I
anymore.
saw that, it was okay. So my technician guy is currently having a laugh at me while moving the sound away from me.
Yep.
Hey,
we have a
deck
table.
we have a table.
Which match do we have on camera?
That will be fun to see. We're talking about the
Okay.
profane possession.
I guess he wanted to ask what the other side of it, because of course they have access to each other's deck lists.
Yep.
I suppose they just wanted to ask what the other side of profane profession
Profane possession. Okay,
Prof-
I said it correctly. Profane possession.
Profandiboo.
Expelliarmus.
You can tell the days go long when we just start making up more and more words.
Are you going to draft the Modern Horizon, Danny?
I will probably give it a try. It depends how my budget's looking.
I'm actually. I saw an event from one of our stores in our neighborhood area, Spelfaktoriet. They're going to have a. Actually, they're going to have a draft competition to enter the league, the draft league in Poland.
In Poland?
Yes.
Wow.
So that's the 28th of July, I think.
I mean, we have a few Grand Prix coming up as well. I believe Grand Prix in Copenhagen is going to be running.
Next week.
Yeah, I believe that's going to be running the Modern Horizons
Yeah,
pre-release.
they are.
That's going to be interesting, to say the least.
Yeah. So that's 3-0 to me, my friend. Our technician guy is trying to.
We
hit
have
the
110 viewers watching us laugh at nothing. I apologize. I apologize so sincerely. But yes, we will very soon be having Mind Stage versus Dragon's Lair. More people that begin with V in their first names. This is. Is this a Vidar Victor, or is this a Victor Vilfjord, or is this a.
What?
Huh? Vidar
Vidar
William.
William.
Oh, there's a
Alright.
William in the mix now.
So
Okay.
William Ljungberg versus Vidar
So
Hesselman.
Vidar Hesselman. I'm just gonna put a ring around this. Number one in the standings for the Singleton Swiss.
Yeah.
Whereas William. Okay, well, that's supposed to be with a W. No wonder I got confused. William Ljungberg.
Versus Vidar
was
Hesselman.
number 9 in the Swiss.
And
Unfortunately, we're not going to get a good look at the blue-green theft deck, but hopefully there'll still be some time left to have a little shift over to it once these guys are done.
we know that Vidar is playing Esper.
Yeah.
That
I
we
mean,
know.
now they've swapped to team constructed, so it might be that they've prepared 2 different decks for this, but I don't imagine there'd be much of a point. Just play Esper the entire way and prepare for the full field and make
Yes.
everyone else work their decks around you.
Yeah, I see 2 Teferis there. Being shuffled in.
Now, William Ljungberg for Mind Stage. I guess the real question is, how red is his deck? How many runaway Steamkins do we see in this matchup?
Oh, I don't know, man. A bazillion?
Yeah, it could be something else. I am seeing mountains though.
So many mountains.
I'm trying to work out.
Here comes the cut. Triple cut. Do you see any lands in that hand? Is it
do
one?
not. I tell you what, I do see though. Red cards. I see one land, potentially two.
It's one lander. One land from William. On the other hand, we have I think we have a thought erasure in Vidal's hand.
That is going to be a very happy thought erasure right there.
Yep.
Yes, as we could probably pick up, William is indeed on mono red, and Vidar is indeed on Esper, and yes.
Alright.
So, I mean, I don't really know what else to... like, there's nothing really more to comment on in this matchup that we haven't already said, but we can
tell you what they're
follow
doing.
the plays as much as possible.
Light up the stage. Gets him 2 lands, which is really, really good because he doesn't have anyone in his hand. So next turn is gonna be... oh, this turn. In for the runaway okay, now I'm tired. Oh, Fanatical Firebrand.
I mean, to be fair, we haven't brought up foil cards for the past couple of matches, so... 3 lands for the mono red player. We go in for 2. Vidar takes 2.
Chain Whirler, a 3/3 gets in for 1, and in the end of turn gets destroyed.
Water
Vidar.
grave tapped, untapped, and draws.
Time for the Steam King to show.
Unless there's Chain Whirler to play on curve, I'm not sure. But then again, he can play Steamkin and Lava Runner. Goes in, takes another 2. There's the Steamkin. There's the Lava Runner. Down comes the Narset. Minuses.
Basilica Bellhound, but
Grabs
they
a
can grab
Tyrant Scorn. Land tapped and pass. This is looking very solid for the mono red player right now. That is Chandra in hand.
The thing is with Esper is that okay, so I'm gonna answer a question here from the Twitch chat. BUM stands for Butiksmästerskapen, which basically is each store has a champion, has a contest,
And that is a full concession from Hesselman.
yeah. And anyway, and then the winner of the Butiksmästerskap, the top 4, creates a team to enter the this tournament.
1-0 up for mono red again. Now you can expect to see the usual sideboarding options from Esper.
I don't know if did Dragon Slayer win last year?
I believe they might have. Getting some Dragon Slayer support in chat. I'm sure that they are feeling your energy too. And again, you see the Mono Red taking out the Fanatical Firebrands.
So Freffy says that 1 year Priest Finnet in Uppsala won, but the whole team had Stockholm peoples in it.
Well, I think that answers that question. I've got to say though, that watching these games though, the teams themselves have played very, very well this year.
So sideboarding, Danny. What do you think?
Again, the main issue with this is that we don't actually have the full deck list in front of us because they have the deck lists and they are allowed to look at each other's deck lists.
But of course, yeah, okay. So Lyra, another Cry for the Canarian.
But I imagine
Kaya's Wrath.
Hesselman is going to do the same thing he did probably 20 minutes ago when he last played against Mono Red. And William, I imagine, is going to do the same thing he did the last time he played against Esper. Never cheer for the one tapping the mountains. Alright. Clearly you have never played Tribal Chandras in Commander, my friend.
Well, William is taking his time to consider
Really think about what he wants to take out here. Because of course if you're predicting the Lyra coming down, Mono Red doesn't really have a one card answer to that. Which is why Lyra is so important in this match.
If you're not playing Skargan Hellkite sideboard.
Skargan Hellkite doesn't even deal with Lyra completely on his own. Lyra has first strike.
That is true. That is a mean card.
Lyra, yeah. Lyra's been a mean card ever since she was printed. We made Baneslayer Angel legendary. And then it turns out that was still good. Imagine if it was straight up Baneslayer Angel though. Protection from demons and dragons. Just that small little tagline added on. Then what does Skargan Hellkite do? Nothing, I tell ya.
Fight with fire.
Can we expect any interesting, any off the wall? Because I mean, one thing I do like about Hesselman's list, he runs a single copy of Profane Procession, allowing him in the grindier matchups. I mean, I imagine he took it out for this matchup, but I do like that small twist. Being able to clean answers. I don't believe that William is running Fight with Fire. I think I saw his list earlier. Unless this is different to the list he ran in Standard. In the main event. He might be running Fight with Fire. And even then, Fight with Fire, you still have to... Don't you have to still kick Fight with Fire? Chandra's Triumph, if you're playing Chandra anyway, might be able to do it.
Yeah.
But again, like the point is that you have to jump through so many hoops. In order
there's not a clean answer to Lyra Dawnbringer. One or more or kicking or whatever. There's not a single card in red deck that actually.
Then again, to be fair, I'm glad that Mono Red doesn't have literally an answer to it. If you're living in a format where Mono Red can deal with literally everything, then we're just going to be watching Mono Red mirrors rather than Mono Red versus Esper. At least Mono Red versus Esper, we're getting two.
But that is also why Mono Red almost never wins when Carnage Tyrant hits the field, because they can't deal with that.
I mean, to be fair, if Mono Red hasn't killed you by the time Carnage Tyrant hits the field, or hasn't got you in some kind of striking range, then normally that's probably
Turn
an
4.
issue.
Turn 4 card and Tyrant.
I don't know.
Elf.
I mean, you normally just shock the elves as soon as you see them, though. That's the thing. Both players drawing in.
Let's see how this works out.
3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Well, there is lands there.
It's that 4-lander on William's side, I think I'm seeing. Potentially less. You don't get to see this. Just clarifying in case anyone decides to actually panic about this. During the team event, players are allowed to communicate with each other as long as they're on the same team. Each team also has another representative player that acts as a coach that can go between games and also ask for advice. So William is more than allowed to ask his teammates if he should keep that hand. There's a land. There's a Pyromancer. Hesselman goes down to 18. Draws a card.
Thought Erasure.
Thought Erasure foil. I'm sorry.
2 Experimental Frenzy.
Double
in hand.
Experimental Frenzy, Tybalt, Chain Whirler, and Light Up the Stage. Real talk, I think the Chain Whirler's the pick here. But he goes for the Tybalt instead. It's the life gain is. I imagine that means he might have a moment of craving in hand. I would have gone with the
Oath of
immediate
Kaya.
body and tried to bring the.
You have Oath of Kaya.
He has Oath of Kaya in hand. That'll
Yep.
be why then. He can deal with Chain Whirler and still gain the life.
Getting
William
in for
goes in.
2 damage.
Down to 16.
Place a land into.
There's the Chain Whirler. Down again to 15. Hesselman. There's the Kaya's Wrath. Cleaning up the board. Hume Batty draws a card. Looks at his hand. Has a little think. This could be a Steamkin play.
It almost has to be a Steam King play.
Are you sure? I mean, it depends what else he's got in hand, of course. We can't see everything from up here.
Yeah, Steam King in, then then Frenzy next turn if he gets the land to get some momentum. It should be playing.
Apparently an Assassin's Trophy has decided to go into the table. We will report on that.
Alright, light up the stage.
Yeah,
Alright.
he's going for the
He's looking for the land. There you got it.
hard cast light up the stage. Pass his turn. He might be giving Esper too many turns here. But then again, if he's got Experimental Frenzy, he might not care.
Big Teferi. Which also is going to mean that Vidar can tuck the Experimental Frenzy if he so not chooses to counter it while being on the stack and the battlefield. There comes the Steamkin.
Steamkin down. It's a 1-1. Pinks to Fairy. Draws a card.
Draws a card.
Godless Shrine tapped. Untapped. Is he shocking or?
Oh, he drew a card with the fairy.
Okay, I didn't think he'd just go land go. He has like 5 cards in hand. I guess it's all just interaction.
Dovin's Veto.
Dovin's Veto stopping the Experimental Frenzy come down.
Yeah.
He's got to assume that he has some sort of way to stop it.
Yeah, there he goes.
There's the Frenzy. This has got to be vetoable. No, the Frenzy resolves.
Huh.
Attacks to fairy.
Response by destroying and exiling the
Desparks the frenzy.
So a lot of lands on Vidar's side, but no presence. Only response.
William tapping 4.
Another
Playing
one.
experimental frenzy. There's the veto. We knew it was coming at some point.
He does,
Steamkin
however,
on
has
3. Goes in for 6. Pushing Hesselman down to 9.
another Teferi. Clean play.
There's a mountain. Now, if that's 2 lava runners in hand, I can see him popping the Steamkin here for the 3 mana to go lava runner and lava runner. And then he can drop a Chandra and effectively be back in the same place.
Yep.
And have extra attackers for 4 more power. On 9 life though, this could...
I don't think you wanna remove the counters from... I think he wants to attack first to kill the Teferi.
No, but this is what I'm saying. I think I saw 2 lava runners in hand, which means that he can go remove the counters and then play lava runner, pay 3 Chandra, and then the Steamkin's in exactly the same position that it always was.
Yeah.
Appears to be some sort of notification.
Judge Dredge, thank you for following us.